had a question about like the Kaaba and stuff. Is it?
I can't speak in the microphone so you can be a little louder.
You hear me now?
Yeah, you want a question about the Kaaba?
Yeah, like
Why?
you made a claim like how is it like pagan?
Okay, well, good question. If you're sincere, I'll answer. Okay, when you bow to the Kaaba, does Allah live in the Kaaba?
I think it's like metaphorically.
Okay, but I asked you, does Allah live in the Kaaba?
No.
Okay, when the Jews bowed to the temple, it's because God said His presence would be there. He would truly live in there. So when they're bowing to the temple, they're bowing to God because God said, though He's in heaven, He would put His presence there. So they're bowing to the God who lives in that house. But Allah doesn't live in the Kaaba, right?
No.
So why bow to it?
I'm not really sure. Maybe like veneration or.
But why are you venerating a cube that was venerated by the pagans if God doesn't dwell there? The Jews, if you ask the Jews, this is in the Old Testament, their scripture, they will tell you, we bow to the temple because God said He lives there. So we're bowing to God who's there, while even in heaven, because He can fill heaven and earth. We're not bowing to the temple. But you're telling me you're bowing to the Kaaba and God is not there. Here, Matthew 23:21. Here's what Jesus says. Matthew 23:21. And whoever swears by the sanctuary swears by both the sanctuary and by Him who dwells within it. God is saying, my presence is here. So when you bow, know I'm here, living in your midst, even though I'm still in heaven, because He's omnipresent. But the Muslims don't believe Allah is in the Kaaba, so why bow to it? Especially when it was a shrine venerated by the pagans.
Well, it was built by Abraham.
There's no proof for that whatsoever. None. Absolutely none. Zero.
Wait, doesn't it like there's this verse I forgot like about the valley of Becca?
Becca is not. It's not Mecca. Becca is not Mecca. Can you show me in the Quran where Becca is Mecca?
No, like the old name used to be Becca. Like,
where the Quran says Becca is Mecca, you're making stuff up because you're parroting what Muslims told you. Nowhere does it say Becca is Mecca, not even the Quran. Chapter 3, verse 96 doesn't say Becca is Mecca.
I remember like
You're not listening.
Yeah. My bad.
You didn't hear what I said. Can you show me where Becca is Mecca? Nowhere in the Quran does it say Becca is Mecca. It just says Becca, but Becca is not said to be Mecca. That's an assumption. You can't assume things. You got to prove it. I know what you're referring to. Here, 396. All right. Lo, the first sanctuary appointed for Mecca was at Becca. Now, prove to me Becca is Mecca.
I thought that was because I don't know.
Yeah, because it doesn't. Nowhere in the Quran does it say Becca is Mecca. That's what Muslims have told you.
Wait,
now
was it? I heard like multiple things. Like it used to be called Yathrib, and it used to be called
Yathrib is in Medina.
Oh, okay.
That's where the Jews settled, and then it became Medinat al-Nabi, the city of the Prophet.
Oh, okay.
E.D. Vills, are you okay, dude? You're playing with your mustache, E.D. Villers. Are you all right? What are you like? Okay, so we're getting back to the issue. The pagans, we know for certain, did honor the Kaaba, right? We know that for a fact because there are 360 idols, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so that we know from Muslim sources, the Kaaba was venerated by pagans. But we have no proof that the Kaaba was established by Abraham and Ishmael. There's no proof for that whatsoever.
Well,
give the proof. There's none. Or were you born a Muslim, by the way?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but that's what they tell you. But you got to ask questions. Say, excuse me, Sheikh, do you have any pre-Islamic evidence, archaeology, manuscript, any writing before Islam, whether Jewish, Christian, or pagan, that mentions Abraham Ishmael went to Mecca and that the Kaaba was built by Abraham Ishmael? There is none. It's not. I'm not lying. There is none. This comes from later Islamic tradition.
Okay.
My question is, why are you going to the Kaaba?
Though.
What is it?
Like it's just like it's like a cube in like the middle of the desert,
Yeah, because there are pagans who erected many Kaabas. Even your own traditions say there are many Kaabas. One was in Mecca, the other was at Taif. Kaabas were common because they erected shrines to gods and goddesses.
Then wait, why are there none anymore though?
Because the Muslims demolished everything in their path. I mean, isn't that obvious? What did the Muslims do? They take over lands and they demolish shrines.
Okay. Well, hold up. I always wonder like why did they like is it kissing like the stone? Is that pagan?
Well, why do you kiss the black stone?
Well, I'm gonna be honest, I don't really know.
Well, even Muhammad didn't explain it because even Umar said he didn't have any idea why he's kissing it, but he did it because Muhammad did it. Here, let me show it to you. So even Umar ibn al-Khattab, he says, I know that you're a stone that can neither harm nor benefit. Had I not seen the messenger of Allah kiss you, I would not have kissed you. So he didn't even understand why, but he just did it blindly. Right?
But
so
why did Muhammad command it though?
Because the pagans did it. So he's taking the practices of the pagans and he's making it part of Islam. Here, let me show you here in my article right here. Did the pagans worship stones before Muhammad? Yep. Sahih Bukhari, volume 5, number 661. Narrated Abu Raja al-Utridi. We used to worship stones. And we found a better stone than the first one. We would throw the first one and take the latter. But if we could not get a stone, then we would collect some earth and then bring a sheep and milk that sheep over it and perform tawaf around it. When the month of Rajab came, we used to stop the military actions, calling this month the iron remover, for we used to remove and throw away the iron parts of every spear and our arrow in the month of Rajab. Abu Raja added, when the Prophet sent with Allah's message, I was a boy working as a shepherd of my family camels. When we heard the news about the appearance of the Prophet, we ran to the fire, i.e. to Musaylima al-Khadab, the false prophet. But notice what they did. It was a common practice according to Muslim sources. Pagans worship stones. One of the stones is the black stone. So now here, Sahih Bukhari, volume 2, Sahih, number 667, narrated Abbas bin Rabia, Umar came near the black stone and kissed it and said, no doubt, I know that you are a stone and can neither benefit anyone nor harm anyone. Had I not seen Allah's apostle kissing you, I would not have kissed you. So why are you guys following a pagan practice?
Yeah, I just like there's a lot of questions I have like wondering about like both religions. Like, for example, like I know you've probably heard this argument like a million times, but like,
okay,
like about why didn't Jesus know the hour? Like I know like
too long.
the calendar.
Too long.
Huh?
Too long answer. I mean, I can add, but it's too long. I mean, meaning I can give you a 1 minute answer. It's not going to suffice you. Or here, let me show you how long the answer is. But even that passage, when a Muslim quotes verses to me to try to deny Jesus is God, my question to them becomes this. Are you trying to convince me from this verse that Jesus is a Muslim and I should become a Muslim? That's what I ask. Why are you showing me the verse? So what would you tell me as a Muslim if I asked that question? For example, here, you see my playlist? It's on the screen. See it?
Yeah.
The sun's knowledge of the day and hour. Here it is. Sun's knowledge. Look how many sessions I did. The sun's knowledge of the day and hour, 2 hours, 56 minutes, part 1. Incorrect way of explaining Jesus' knowledge of the hour. 3 hours, 25 minutes. Here's part 2. 2 hours, 42 minutes. Here's part 3. 2 hours, 27 minutes. So
yeah,
you see,
I just had like one specific question. Like, if that is true, like, I know the argument's like he has like 2 divine natures, right?
no, not 2 divine natures. He's
one
divine nature is a man with a mind, right?
Yeah, but what doesn't make sense is like, was he just going in and out of his divine nature, or
No.
like?
There's no going in and out. He's operating in 2 natures. So how does that work? I'm not the God man. I don't know how to be a God man. So there are things about God I cannot identify with beyond my ability to understand. So unless I'm the God-man, I don't know how it works. I'm not a God-man, so I'm going to know. There's only one God-man according to us, that's Jesus. So if he's the God-man, God and man, that means he's unique. Not only is he God, but he's taken a human nature, and he's truly human. Would he be truly human if he wasn't born?
Okay, just one like.
Would he be truly human if he was not born?
No.
Would he be truly human if he didn't grow?
No.
Would he be truly human if he didn't eat and sleep and change over time?
No.
Would he be truly human if in his human mind he was omniscient?
No.
Okay, so why are you shocked that he shows he's a true human being and experiences full human existence without sin? So yes, he's truly human. He grew, he tired. But the same Bible that you're quoting says that he's truly God and knows everything.
Okay, but like the reason I wanted to like ask that was because like if he's both like it like has both a divine nature and like a human nature, but like he doesn't go in and out of them. He's just in both of the natures. Would that mean when he said like even he doesn't know the hour, would that mean like he lied? Because if he has two natures, why
would he lie? Why was it a lie when even as a man in his waking consciousness, because you don't understand the complexity of human mind. That's why you're asking that question. You as a man with a human consciousness, you have a subconscious aspect to your mind and a waking consciousness. Medically, scientifically, it's a fact. You don't recall everything in your waking consciousness that's embedded in your subconscious mind. So when you are unable to recall all the events in your life from the time you came out of your mother's womb, but then when someone puts you under hypnosis and then you recall facts from the time you came out of your mother's womb to the present, and you wake up and then you're not able to answer questions that you did under hypnosis. So are you now lying?
No.
But hold on. When you were awake and he asked you specific questions but you couldn't answer, but when he put you under hypnosis, you were able to recall. So you must be lying to me. How do you recall on one level but not recall on another level?
I mean, but there's a difference with that because like...
No, there is no difference, because if he's truly human, that means Jesus has a true human mind and he has a true waking consciousness. So it doesn't follow that in his waking consciousness, he must be able to recall everything he would know on a deeper level, just like you with one nature. So are you lying to me? How can you know something on another level but not know it on a different level? So you must be lying. You're play acting. You're a deceiver. See, that's your question.
No,
See,
I'm
that's
just
what
asking because like I was looking at both of them and I'm not trying to like...
No, I know. Take it easy. I know. Take it easy.
I'm not
just
giving
pushback. That's it. I'm giving you pushback. That's it. So if you want to really go in depth, you can watch my series. But my point is, let's assume Jesus doesn't know everything. Okay, let's grant that. That still means Islam is false and you need to be a Christian. That's what I'm trying to get at. I've answered this thoroughly. I'm not evading it, but I'm trying to explain to you, unless you're the God-man, you're God and man, you cannot identify and understand how Christ can operate with two natures, because you're not God, you're just a man, and you're not a God-man. So even as a Muslim, you admit there are things about God, Allah, unlike any creation, beyond your ability to comprehend. But it doesn't mean you then reject those things about God you don't comprehend. So I'm telling you, I don't know what it's like to be God and man. I don't. He does, but I'm going to, argument's sake, let's just say he doesn't know. But it still means you need to be a Christian and reject Muhammad. So why aren't you a Christian? Why? Why do I say that?
Looking at, like, there's a lot of, like, arguments and whatnot that I've been looking at. Like, for example, like...
No, don't run to the... Answer my question first. I'll get to your objections, but don't run from this. This still means you need to follow Jesus and stop being a Muslim. Because why? Did you read the verse? Here it is in front of you. Matthew 24:36.
But of the day...
Of that day or hour... What?
Oh, nothing. I was just reading. My bad.
But of that day or hour, no one knows, not even the angel nor the Son, but the Father alone. Wait. So no one knows means no man knows, right? Then it says not even the angels of heaven. So angels are higher than humans, right?
Yeah.
But then Jesus is higher than both because he places himself above angels and humans, and he says he's the son to the Father. So do you believe Jesus is the son?
Well, I can't, like, because I'm Muslim.
But that's what I'm saying. If I believe this verse, then it proves too much. Okay, he doesn't know everything, but he's still higher than creation because he's higher than humans and angels, and he belongs to the Father as his son, which means Islam is false. So when a Muslim quotes this verse, he's not helping his case. He's proving to me, all the more so, I don't follow Muhammad and I stay Christian, but just change my theology.
Okay, but like when you're talking about, I forgot to mention this, but like when you're talking about like when a person has like a subconscious or
All humans do. This is a fact of science.
yeah, but they can't access that, like, you know what I mean, like they can't
Yeah, but what makes you think that Jesus in his waking consciousness must necessarily access what he knows on a deeper subconscious level? Again, you're assuming you know what it's like to be the God-man. So are you the God-man? How do you know that? How do you know this? You're not God. You're a man. How do you know what it's like to operate as the God-man? That's my point. You're guessing.
I don't know it, but like if he's gonna say not even the Father, not even the Son knows, right?
Yeah.
But like he's acting like, I don't know, just like,
yeah, exactly. You don't know. That's my point. So you can keep trying to argue to deny the obvious. Unless you're the God-man, you don't know how it is to exist and operate with two natures. That's the whole point. But the same Jesus in the same Bible, right? Because you're quoting the Bible to me. Because it's not either or, and it's not that he's lying any more than you're lying. If on a deeper level, I tap into your subconscious and you can answer questions that when you're awake, you can't answer and remember. Doesn't mean you're lying. It just means your mind is much more complex than you think. Then how much more complex someone who's the God-man? But here, let's take the same Matthew, right? That was Matthew 24:36. I'll let you read this. Same Matthew, before we got to Matthew 24:36. What does it say in Matthew 11:27? Can you read it for me?
Yeah, it says, all things have been handed over to me by my Father, and no one knows the Son except the Father, nor does anyone know the Father except the Son, and anyone to whom the Son wills to reveal him.
Okay, now this is before Matthew 24, where he says they are. Okay, now if I ask you, when Jesus says no one knows the Son except the Father, he's talking about himself. What does that imply? He says no one can know me and understand me except the Father. What is he claiming? Think about it a little more deeply. You sound very intelligent. You're going to understand.